Witta is a house that's located in Noosa Heads, which is on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, very much in the subtropics, with incredible views and aspect to the water to the south. The challenge was trying to design a house that would then open up to the northeast to capture all this beautiful winter sun while engaging with the water to the south. We've really tried to heighten the experience of living and being here every day through these quite deliberate experiences of skylight, window and courtyard. And there's just this sense upon arrival that there's this absolutely unadorned, unfettered, invisible connection between occupation of this land and the beautiful environment in the world outside. There's a lovely sense of open plan space dedicated to living, where you move inside and outside through these seamless thresholds so that one occupies all of these areas as a pavilion. And the outdoor space then has the ability to also close down with a series of screens which offers privacy to the canal on the south. That space in turn opens out to the north over the swimming pool with a lovely sense of garden. On the upper floor, that area is dedicated to the bedrooms. There's a series of kids' bedrooms that are all en-suited, a number of them facing out to the north. And then the parents and the guest bedroom are both on the southern side with views over the water. And that also then creates the zone separation that's articulated by the void in the middle of the space. The creation of these voids and courtyard spaces is really an ability to bring light deep into the plan. And we've been able to capture an amazing sense of natural light through the use of skylights that talk more about almost open sky above you rather than just additional supplementary light. The basement, which is a very unexpected space in that it is all lit through glass panels inside of the swimming pool, so all of the natural light there is through the water. What we've tried to do is look at materials that are natural, that talk to this natural environment. The charred timber, while not direct references to any one specific thing in Noosa, do talk about the texture of timber and even the idea of forest fires and natural forces that happen within the environment. There's nothing that compares with concrete in terms of the versatility of it. It can take on the form of anything we can really conceive of. So when you factor in kind of what we need the building to physically do and how we want to go about doing it, there's just nothing in our opinion that competes. One of the things that we have been developing in our architecture for some time now is how we deal with the facades of buildings. We've sort of tried to move away from a series of windows just punctuating a wall into the facade being seen as a homologous item in itself. What that means here is that we've got a double facade where all the windows and the ventilation and light and all those sorts of things are dealt with in one layer. And then there's the screen in front of it that deals with not only the sun, but it deals with privacy, and then also creates the architectural dialogue that is very much the experience of this building from the street. It takes about 50% of the heat load off the facade, and equally important, it kind of tempers the space in such a way that you enjoy the spaces as a sense of light that would come through, branches of a tree. That planting is very much a central theme in the house because it's part of softening this otherwise very hard concrete. But as it sits more into the landscape and ages and the plants start to cascade more and more, people understand that this building is more about the landscape ultimately than it is trying to be just about the architecture. This project was very much a team effort. And Jen Eggline, the associate who ran this project, did an incredible job of the documentation along with Neva and Lucy to realise all of those ideas. The execution on site from Jason Warren and his team is just absolutely sublime. And Hong and Mark, who did the interiors and the landscaping in turn, then just built on that and added necessary layers to really finish off this house and create all the softness. To pay due credit to Craig and Ali, our clients, to say that they were extraordinarily trusting and giving, I think would be an understatement. I think ultimately great architecture is about balance. It's about sort of finding the ability for a person to sit on a couch but a group to sit out in a room. What it is about is creating a place for this family to be able to enjoy the best of being in this environment. And ultimately, architecture, landscape, interior, decor, art, they're just tools to facilitate that. Great architecture maybe does its best to try and curate all of those things to offer that experience in a way that is memorable and wonderful.